All right, and after a few technical difficulties, we're back here at the start of the first. Lewisville already up 1-0.
Well, for the fans at home, MST setups and city Wi-Fi don't mix well. But we will have to make do with what we have.
And we'll try this again. There's a good save by Mathis Lafleur, lunging out 1-0 Lewisville. Just over 10 minutes to go in period one here.
Well, your first game in any tournament is really important to set the tone for the weekend. I mean, a big win or a big loss could really set the rhythm for the rest of your weekend here, especially in a competitive tournament like this one.
And so far, there's been 3 other games, all featuring the Lewisville Lightning from U11B, U11AA, U13AA, and the Lightning are currently 3-0 so far, so they look to get the sweep in the first 4 games here in this tournament. Eagles trying to find it down low. There's a battle along the corner, dinging for it. There's Doherty. Eagles able to get out of the zone, but it looks like we're going to have a penalty call here. A bit of rough stuff. There's a Lightning player down on his stomach. And that's going to send Lewisville to their first power play. Max Doherty is going to head off. Lewisville is going to see their first power play, or scratch that. They're going to take coincidental penalty, so it's still going to be 5-on-5. You're in the middle. Little shove given there by McHatton. Lightning try to dig their way deep into the zone now. Cutting against the boards. That looks to be McLennan. McLennan battling deep. That one gets sent out right into the high slot. Eagles, they move it out through center. There's a bit of a tie-up, and here we're going to have our first official penalty. And it looks like it's going to be a hook. I believe this is going to go against Lewisville. And indeed it will. That looks like Jackson Jensen heading off for 2. Just trying to get on the defense there. Accidentally got his stick up and inside the rusher there, the Eagles. So we are there's a quick shot that just misses the net. Goes right in front to the side of the net of Lafleur. And he'll smother that one up. Still 1-0 Lightning. Just under 9 minutes to go here in the first period. Now face off right in front. That one skips right in front of Lafleur. Lightning here on defense. It's Ross. He's going to get hit into the boards. Digging for it. There's Collins. Collins to the middle of the pass. Almost hit the tape perfectly of Declan Smith. But back they go the other way. This one cleared, and that one looked to have been Scott getting that one deep into the zone. Initiating some good penalty killing. Here come the Blues the opposite way. Going to be blocked in there by Richard. Richard to the opposite end of the ice. Chasing on it there is Holland. Holland gathering behind the net, now in a battle. This one could be a turnover, just over a minute to go on the Oromocto man advantage. Rimmed around the boards, Holland again. He'll try to send this one up, caught in at the blue line. Looking for it there, sent out to center. Moving in, walking in, there's the shot. Lafleur able to get the save on that one. Whistle finally goes. It's Lafleur who hasn't been challenged all too much so far. But there he stands tall on the man advantage here. Lightning bring it out. It's a quick clear there by Bailey as it's caught into the zone. Here's Carter going around the net. Sent it up to the blue line, a clean breakout. Trying to headman the puck there. That one taken away by Uden as it's almost cleared. Behind the cage now. Banked along the boards by Bailey. At the line, winding up, there's a clap bomb. It'll bounce to the side of the net. They jam at it. Looking, there's a sharp angle shot there from McHatton. McHatton looks to battle again. That one squeezes out. It's going to go to Alex Godin. Alex Godin trying to escape the zone. He was pressured by McHatton as they now go tussling into the timekeeper's box. Puck hovers the ringette line. This one caught in. Power play has now expired for Oromocto. So it's a 5-on-5. Eagles walk in. Pass across by Bowie. And that one intercepted before it could hit his intended target. So down the ice it'll go. But this one will be icing against Lewisville. So face-off is going to go back into the end of Mathis Lafleur. We're getting down to about midway through the first period. Still only 1-0 in favor of the Lewisville Lightning.
So far, Oromocto playing a really defense-heavy cycling brand of hockey here, trying to get the puck right to their point shooters, trying to scramble for those rebounds. Lewisville responding great by clogging up those shooting lanes, but who knows how Oromocto is going to adapt to a very well defensive-rounded Lewisville team.
Exactly. You could see that on the power play. Oromocto's blue line was wide open, but they couldn't quite get shots to the net. That's how many bodies were in front. Face-off will go out to the Oromocto bench. It's the Lightning that bring it in, walking in. There's a shot. There's a save there. And another try and another great save. Blake Elias denying not one but two great shots from the Lightning offense.
Blake Elias with a fantastic double save there. Stretching all the way to keep his team in this. 1-0 Lightning still.
Here's another try. Elias, the save. He stands on it again, showing off a great display of goaltender positioning. Take notes, as we're going to have another look at that one. It's right off the draw, so often goalies might not expect the quick shot there from the side. Able to control that rebound and position himself perfectly. Lightning again with the draw. They go behind the net. That looks to be Alex Godin. Finding his way up to the hash marks now. The Lightning still in the offensive zone. It's going to be shot rink wide. Picking up there for the Eagles is Smith. Trying to dig his way. Send it to McHatton. Taken back by the Lightning. It's Armsworthy. Working his way into the zone. Here's the sharp angle shot from wide. He's going to have another try. Alex Godin with the trailer. Unable to get that one in. Emmett McHatton leads the rush for the Eagles now. Emmett McHatton up the left to the middle. Tried to get the shot off, and there's Cormier able to outmuscle him. Armsworthy trying to get out. Blocked in at the line. Behind the cage now, the Lightning regroup with it. McHadden up to the line, back. Emmett McHadden waits, fires towards the net, and that one, the shot from Emmett McHadden off of Drew McHadden into the side of the net. And the Lightning are able to move it back the other way. Alex Godin trying to lead the rush here, getting caught up with Drew McHadden right near the Bedford bench. As they continue to battle, clock ticks down, just 5 minutes left to go. We've reached our final 5 in the first period so far. An intense game with chances from both sides. Oromocto. They go past the blue line. Here's the shot. Blocked on defense. And that really is stinging Bailey's right leg right now. He's going to go to the bench. Brought back there by Uden. Cleared out. It looks like we're going to have an icing against Lewisville. And what a great block. Jackson Bailey getting in the way of the lane. Paid the price, though, as he is getting looked at on the bench. But that is the type of player goalies and all players love on the team, getting your body in the way and sacrificing a bit of pain, hopefully just stinging for right now. Caught in the Lewisville end. William Godin trying to go up to the wall. This one gets past Jensen and outside in the center. It's moved D to D for the Eagles as they'll clear that one in on the flare. William Godin recovering there, trying to throw it up against the wall. That one just out of the reach of McClellan. As this one in a pile, it's brought out by Michaud and shot against the wall. Out of the zone it now goes Cote Baribeau. Back into the zone. Turning and trying to spin that one out. Look, that one looked to have been Ross. Now cleared back. Will Godin. In his own end, off the boards. Jensen looks to pick it up there. His speed being followed by Doherty. McClellan walking in the pass to the middle. They score! And make it a 2-0 lead, just less than 4 to go. Riker McClellan sending a perfect pass to the back door. And Patrick Scott is not going to give up that chance.
Well, if you want a textbook example of how to do a 1-2 play, it's right in front of you. So far, Oromocto really needs to adjust defensively. They've been giving way too much time and real estate for the Lewisville players to walk in with quick shots.
And especially when you have a duo like McClellan and Scott, those are two players you don't want to give any time to. And Oromocto now gets that message sent as they go cross crease. Here's Richard in his own end. Trying to throw that one up. Eagles now at their rush. That one blocked and sent away by Jesse Richard. The D to D now ended up with Lloyd. Head man to center over for Ross. Less than 3 to go here in the first period. Again, in a 2-0 game in favor of the Lewisville Lightning. Stopped against the boards there by Alex Godin. This one chipped outside the zone and in the center. Finding it there was Baker. Cross ice pass almost hit the tape of Coleman. Coleman trying to move his way to the middle with a nice deke, but that one intercepted and taken back the other way. With speed now, Barker cutting around. Behind the net, he continues with it. Cormier. He's being hit against the boards by Collins or rubbed out. Alex Godin going behind the cage. Godin on his forehand, looks out in front, tried to get that one into the slot for Armsworthy. At the blue line now, waiting, firing through traffic. Armsworthy again looking right in the slot for a tip, but was just unable to do so. Again, another try. Armsworthy, another try. The rebound, the backhand, they score!
Again, death by 1,000 cuts, and those cuts are rebounds. Again, Lewisville have been capitalizing on loose pucks in front of the net. Oromocto unable to get there first. Lewisville swiping that one in, 3-0.
And you can just tell a goal was coming from that line. Immense pressure especially Adrian Armsworthy getting that one to the side of the net. The initial shot, and it's Reed Uden that bangs that one home for a 3-0 lead now for the hometown team just before the end of the period.
Well, when you pepper the net with consistent shots, sooner or later something is bound to pop out in the right place at the right time, and we've seen that twice in this first period.
I mean, unless you got 2015 Carey Price in net, you're going to need a lot of shots. Here's Bedford entering the zone. Emmett McCann down for Godin. Godin in the corner. Looking up for Jensen. That one ended up to the line. Waiting, shooting along the ice. McCann looking for the rebound there. It's in the skates of a Lewisville defenseman and brought out by Michaud. Michaud, the pass to McClellan. He's quickly stripped to the puck. McClellan trying to turn back right where he got poke checked. Here's Drew McCann into the zone. Waiting. There's the shot. And LaFleur able to steer that one to the side. Jensen moving up. And now a nice move getting out of the zone there. Will Godin. Head-man it over to McClellan. McClellan to the middle. That one behind Godin. As we've now reached our last minute of play, getting to about 30 seconds now left. Eagles skate up past the blue line, waiting. There's the shot. And again, another save from LaFleur. The shot's almost even so far. Here's Scott heading around the cage. Just 20 seconds left. Throwing that one up against the boards. Barely held in. A backhander to the middle. One last rush here. Here's a backhander. McHatton just sent it wide. It's the Lightning that move it up. Here's Scott. Not much time. He's going to have to shoot there. A nice move here. Scott skating into the zone on the left wing. There it is. And what a save there by Elias as the puck ends up behind the net as we hear the buzzer. So make it 3-0 Lewisville Lightning after one. We'll be back for the second here on MST. Brain Lane, Diego Aragon here on MST 2026 Colin Coleman U11 U13 competitive tournament.
Welcome back to the second period of action between the Oromocto Eagles and the Lewisville Lightning. Lewisville leading Oromocto by 3-0 here. So far, Oromocto at the end of the first period finally finding some offensive pace as here come the Lightning.
Walking in, there's the shot, the initial pass from Armsworthy. And the shot to the net is just put wide. And like you were saying, that's exactly what you want to see. Coming into a competitive tournament, you just want that hot start in the first period, and that's exactly what the Lewisville Lightning managed to achieve. Coming off extremely hot, that's an understatement, pounding in 3 goals and putting on a show of relentless defense. And here's some shoving right against the boards, are not in there for the Eagles. And it looks like, do we have a penalty call coming up here? I believe we do out of that scrum.
Well, when you're down 3-0 and being outplayed, and you can just feel like that sort of frustration and like helplessness, I guess. So that could like get some players angry. But in a tournament like this, you cannot afford to make those mistakes here.
And it will be the Lightning that don't see a power play, as they're just going to blow this down for coincidental. Arnott in the box for Oromocto. Baker, Richard, Collins, all in the corner there. Michaud trying to get this one out of the zone. He will. Tried to move that to the middle for Jensen. Moved around to the back of the net. Jensen leaving it behind. Collins on defense. There's the sharp angle shot from McClellan. He tried to wrap around. He's going to get it back again. McClellan waits to the back door. Jensen with the backhand. And got about 80% of it, but just not enough, as now he's hit into the boards. It was Loofman taking him down. Jensen trying to maneuver his way past Sparks. Around the net they now go. Here's Collins gathering for the Eagles at the blue line. Turned over. Bailey walking in out of nowhere. Bailey, the sharp angle shot. That's off the side of the net. And here's another try on the wraparound. And out of the zone it'll now go. Taken away by Smith. To the middle for Collins. Collins stepping in. He's poked. Smith trying to get on it with the trailer.
With the physicality really increasing in this game, both teams really need to keep in mind that discipline wins hockey games.
And so far haven't had any key power plays yet. I've had a couple coincidentals. This could play a big role coming down to the stretch. Here, Pyle Schwartz loose in a scrum. There's the shot to the net by Emick Manhattan. That just missed the cage. Behind the net, it's taken by Michaud. Michaud will flip that one up. Waiting at the line. Caught in here. Here's a try to the net from Bent. That'll just slide wide the left post. Clear all the way down the ice. And not going to go on net. So make that an icing call against the Lewisville Lightning. And plenty more action still to come. Later in the day, here in the 2026 edition of the Colin Coleman U11 and U13 comp tournament. Working back for Oromocto. Holland trying to go up, stopped in at the line. A poke check there as the Lightning try to get back into the zone. A clear attempt from Smith, blocked in. Digging deep there, Scott. Scott bent. Behind the net there was Hemsworth flipping that one up. It ends up at the line. Trying to go down low, intercepted by Holland. Holland skating up. There's a drop pass. It gets to the red line before it's cleared in. Roomed around and caught there by Barker. Barker, the Eagles, up to the blue line. Flipped in by Bent, who caught that one in. Taken out by the Lightning. Back for Bent. He'll flip that one in. Regathered there behind the net. Will Godin trying to find his way through. He's pinned up along the boards. Now has to quickly turn back and go the other way. Side of the net there. Lafleur having to make a quick reaction. That's behind the net now with multiple players down. And we got just about 8 to go in period 2. Lightning into the zone. Pass off the skate.
The Oromocto Eagles have really been digging in those rebounds, trying to chip something in. Lafleur really standing tall, but Oromocto smelling that first goal, and they really need it, especially right now.
And you can just feel that it's coming up soon. Here's Bent on the far boards. Gathering, trying to spin, tried to put it behind him with a little no-looker. Now is down, took a Lightning player with him. And I believe they're just going to blow the whistle here. And Lloyd comes out of the box now for the Lightning. 7:35 left in period 2. Lightning bring it in on the backhand. Trying to hold there's Cormier. Cormier, he was picked off by Cote Baribeau. Behind the net, Armsworthy. Finding his way into the corner. He's taken into the boards there by Smith. Smith and Cote Baribeau. Doherty waiting in the corner. We'll send that one out. Bowie unable to get that one out. Doherty in between his legs. Colmier falls down. Armsworthy out of nowhere. Had tried to get a loose puck deep, but ended up finding that one in the corner. Alex Godin out in the slot waiting. Colmier couldn't quite get the stick on it. Colmier will find it in the corner. Lift a backhand by Cote Baribo. Armsworthy going behind the cage, waiting out in front, walking in. There's the shot that just goes above the net. Adrian Armsworthy, he was ever so close to getting this one to a 4-0 lead. Another try that sails over the net from Richard at the blue line. Armsworthy catching that one down, trying to force his way to the front of the net. He'll move that one behind the net. Gabriel Cote Baribo with it. Tried to send that one up to Bowie. Bowie stopped in at the neutral end. Lightning bring it back in as this one's flipped off the boards. Jensen unable to get to that one. It's stopped, and it's Doherty that sends it back the other way. Doherty up for Bowie. Bowie the shot. Lafleur with the save there. As the shots get even tighter. Here the Lightning that bring it back in. And there was a player hauled down. A good defensive play there by Cote Baribo as it's Loofman going back the other way. Parker Loofman. I'd try to send that one in front. Here's Collins in to pick it up. Hovering the slot there. That one, I believe, was Loofman, unable to get a backhander off. To the middle. Smith walking in. There's the shot. And he just sent that one wide. It didn't miss by a whole lot. And stoppage of play here. Looks like the puck had gone out of play. So getting close to the final 5 here of period 2. The Eagles have done a great job to battle back in the second period. They had a bit of a rough start in the first. They have shown drastic improvement here in our second stanza. Good up the wall. Walking in here, the rush defended by Sparks. They get by. Lewisville walks in. Here's the shot. And Elias there to make the save and cover up. With just over 5 to play in period 2. Chipped out of the zone here by Collins. Looking for it there was Loofman. Gathered back by Sparks as he tries to send that one into the neutral zone and will. It's the battle for the loose puck. It's taken away by Loofman. Loofman stepping in. Sideways, there's the shot. Going behind the net. Chasing on it as Collins. Back for Loofman, who tried to throw it around. Up to the blue line. This one just escaped the zone. It's Peter Barker. Back for it for the Eagles. Out in the middle now. It's Collins working his way in with pressure. Collins skating in. Cuts. There's the shot. And a good save made there by Lafleur. Out in front again. They try to get a shot off. It's Armsworthy turning around trying to find that one. Lewisville Lightning the other way. Along the right wing, the rush. What a move to the middle. Here's the backhand, and just to the side of the net. Coleman was just angled out a bit too far. Couldn't get by Sparks there. Will now find his way to the hash marks. Coleman going up to the blue line, turns and fires back for Armsworthy. This duo of Armsworthy and Coleman have been absolutely insane so far, and the puck's going to be pinned up. We're going to have a whistle, so face off should stay in the Oromocto end, I do believe.
So far, the Oromocto netminder, Blake Elias, has had his work cut out for him today with just being bombarded with very high quality chances. Even though the shot score line is only 13-10, when you look at the quality chances compared between both teams, Lewisville has had the bigger share of dangerous opportunities.
Exactly. Although shots are close, the more dangerous opportunities have definitely come from the team in blue. Godin trying to find his way up to the zone. He's pinned against the boards there by Drew McHatton. Eagles will rotate back. That's to the side of the net. Almost turned over right in front there by Holland. as it's Drew McHatton now. Up the left wing, cutting to the middle. McHatton with it. There's the shot from far, and that one missed the net. McHatton to the middle again and couldn't quite connect on a player in front. Lightning back the other way. Good stick lift there. Emmett McHatton ending that rush. Holland gathering back. Goes around his net in the corner. Up the boards it goes. Parker trying to flip that one out. Gathered back in. Holland with another attempt. Lightning bringing it into the zone. Michaud stumbling and falling. McHatton stealing it there out of the zone. Drew McHatton up the middle to the right now. McHatton up the blue line waiting and fires. And that one takes a weird bounce off the side of the net. Just over 2 to go in period 2. It's the line now bring it out. What a move. Here's Jensen all alone. Jensen backdoor the backhander. They score.
Again, that cross crease backdoor goal. It's just been working every time for them. I mean, if you're Blake Elias, honestly, there's nothing you can do about that one. That was just a perfect cross crease play.
And it's a perfect steal in the middle that gets this all started by Jackson Jensen. He picks the pocket of an Eagle right in the middle and manages to dance through both defensemen. And of course, it's McClellan waiting right on the back door to make it 4-0 in favor of this hometown team. Brought in here by Holland. Behind the net now, taken away by Scott. Trying to go up the wall, blocked in. Now sent deep into the zone. Uden trying to spin away from his target. At the line again. This one cleared. Will find their way behind the net. It's Scott that turns and fires it along the wall. The Lightning up with speed potential. 2-on-1 up the left wing. Scott trying to center. There it is. And the pass got caught up in the feet of Barker and taken away there by Doherty. And another giveaway as the Lightning are just able to clear. Walking in from the line. Here's Bailey cutting in and couldn't quite hold possession. Sharp angle shot off the paddle of Elias. And Bowie getting it out for the Eagles. With speed through center across the blue line. We'll shoot that one behind the net. Lightning up against the boards. They'll clear this one out. Less than a minute to go in period 2. Barker waiting behind the net. Taken away by Coleman at the side of the net now. Moving in, Godin trying to send it to the middle. Fails another try. Right out in the slot. That looked to have been arms worthy on that one. Here's a try, and Elias is there to make the save, as he was just bombarded by pressure and shots within this last minute. And we'll make sure to have another look at that while these teams get set for the face-off.
Well, that was just a perfect point wrister there. Goes straight at Blake Elias, but luckily he's able to get the quick save, and we'll have a penalty coming up, and assume they'll be coincidental.
And I believe you're right. There looks to be one Eagle and one Lightning player in the box.
Well, this game we've already had 2 coincidentals just from the rough stuff happening after whistles in front of the net. I mean, this is a clear message from the officials that they want a clean game and a clean tournament.
And luckily for either of these teams, no power plays surrendered up within the rough stuff. Smith trying to get out of the zone, blocked in by the Lightning. The pass in the middle off a skate, another try, and Elias is able to extend the pad. Here's Godin stepping along the line, aiding Alex Godin. The puck's taken away by Loofman. Walking in for the Eagles. Loofman in between a leg. What a move. Loofman, the shot. They score! Right as the buzzer goes, are they going to count it?
I think that went in.
I believe that went in before the buzzer as well. The ref still has his hands in the air. And the Three officials are going to come together. I believe this one should be a goal.
I heard the post sound.
And they will call it a goal. There it is.
Yeah.
So emphasis on a last-second goal. And it's an absolute snipe at the blue line from Parker Loofman, making it 4-1 heading into the third period. Stay tuned on MST. And here we go, a quick start to the third period. The Eagles got a last-second goal, quite literally. Here's a shot saved by LaFleur. And that will be a quick end of the play.
Oromocto already out of the gates, trying to get some more pucks on net here. Even though they're only down by 3 goals, if they stay consistent, that's definitely a deficit they can erase.
Well, that's exactly what happened last time. Loofman just walking in and getting a puck to the net. And that puck ended up going into the net, giving Oromocto their first goal. Finally answering here in this one as the Eagles push back the other way. Here's a try from the line. That one with a lot of force behind it, just over the net. Michaud in a battle. That one looked to have hit the netting. But play continues at the line, waiting. Cutting around there was Holland. Backhanding that one deep into the zone. It's taken by McHatton. And McMahon to the middle. And that one picked off by Lloyd as McClellan goes back the other way. McClellan stepping in. We'll fire that one in behind the net. Taken here by Holland. They'll try to go against the boards. McHatton. Pressure in the corner. They battle up there. And we have a penalty being called. There's a cross check. Couldn't pinpoint exactly who. As everyone in the battle there, but it looks like it's going to go against Oromocto and Carter Bent.
This is just absolutely some pretty bad timing to take a penalty. I mean, you're down 4-1 in the third period. You still got 10 minutes left to get some goals on the board here, but this is going to be a very crucial penalty kill for the Eagles.
So finally not a coincidental, and it goes in favor of the Lightning here at the line. Uden winds up with a drive, and that one had sailed high up, but it was blocked by a glove. Backhanded into the zone. Turning and looking there is Scott. Scott waiting behind the net, throws him out in front, up back to the line. Here's a try, the save and the rebound. Hemsworth waiting back door, but couldn't quite get a stick on it. At the line, another drive, and this one sent wide. Elias right now seeing rubber left and right. Bailey sending that one up for Hemsworth. Hemsworth skating in on his backhand. Delays, gives it off now to the side, and at the backhand. Another good save made by Bent. Waiting in the corner. Scott going down low. The wraparound attempt. They go back the other way, trying to shake off a defenseman to the side of the net. There's the shot. And the save from Elias. That'll cause a whistle. Just over half the power play expired. The Lightning applying tons of pressure so far on this power play, as that was one of the chances. Here's another try that just sails over the cage. The Lightning just pounding shots over and over on net. Here's Armsworthy in the corner. It's taken away. Coleman throwing that one out in front, trying to find a target in a blue jersey. And the Eagles go back the other way. 30 seconds left to go now on the power play. What a move. Bring it in. Can't quite get his stick, and we got a penalty coming up against the Lightning. A great rush by Finn Collins, and he's going to draw a penalty for a hook. Looks like it's Owen Coleman that heads to the box.
Owen Coleman honestly took a smart penalty there. I mean, he was the last man back and was able to put down the breakaway opportunity. Even though he did take a penalty, he stopped a possible goal.
And we have a 4-on-4 for a little bit. There's a save by Lafleur. So 19 seconds of a 4-on-4, and then we'll have an Oromocto power play soon to follow, where this one's iced down by Lewisville. Quickly off the draw. It was won there by the Lightning, but taken by the Eagles. Smith behind the net, waiting, send that one off to Collins. Penalty now done, so it's an Oromocto power play. For just about a minute and a half, Collins going behind the net, trying to draw another call. Right out in front of the shot, they score! And there's the power play marker for the Eagles. Waiting right in front, Declan Smith. Right place, right time.
Well, like how we mentioned earlier in this game, discipline is always a factor in any tournament, and Oromocto cuts the lead in half with a clutch power play goal with 8:35 left in this final period.
And 12 and 14 link up. Smith and Collins doing tremendous work to battle for the puck behind the net. And this gets Lewisville's lead cut down to only 2 goals, as the Eagles have now had 2 unanswered. Shot put out to the line, stopped and taken by McClellan. McClellan going down for the Lightning. He gets the chip by Cote Baribeau. In the corner, 2 players go falling, and it looks like we're going to have another penalty. I believe this one's against Oromocto for a trip. And it looks like that will be the case, as the Lightning will go back to the power play. They'll have another whack at it. Again, just an accidental trip there in the corner. Well, Lewisville power play now for 2 minutes. And they score right off the face-off. What a shot. The puck was barely even dropped, and it's in the back of the net, making it 5-2 now in favor of the Lightning. And what a clutch goal there from Patrick Scott, the captain, getting it right off the draw, putting it to his backhand and burying it.
Well, in hockey, there's one golden rule, and it's right place, right time. Pick up the trash and cash it in.
And here, that was almost another goal, almost mirroring the latest one. And Lewisville gets back with a power play goal of their own just minutes after the Eagles got it back to within 4-2. Around the boards here, Arnott. Drop pass, back up against the boards. In reverse, the Lightning defense, they throw that across, try to get that one to Ross. Blues bring it up into the neutral end. It's poked, shoved loose. It was Godin trying to get on that. Back for the Oromocto defense. Throwing that one across. Taken away by Liret. Liret hitting the brakes. Waiting, will throw a saucer pass through center. That one got caught up in Doherty. Move back, Liret. He'll have another try. Head manning the puck up, this time for Armsworthy. Pin there with Alex Godin. Armsworthy stepping in. Left wing, here's the shot. And that one, I don't believe, got on Elias. Got redirected before it could get to the net. Here's another try from Coleman. Elias able to extend his blocker. Behind the net it'll go. Cote and Baribo. For the Eagles now, trying to shove it up against the wall. Behind the net, Godin. Pressure from Doherty. Now taken by Bowie. Up in the middle, sticks lifted. Coleman will leave that one off for Alex Godin. And down to the opposite end it'll go. Coming down to the final 6 minutes. Lewisville up by a score of 5-2. Here in this 4th game of day 1. There's an icing against Oromocto. And we've got more actions, plenty of more action still to come on this day 1. It's Brayden Lane and Gio Aragon in the K Arena for the 2026 Colin Coleman U11 and U13 competitive tournament. Eagles up to the neutral zone. They stay in onside. McHatton had thrown it in. That's taken away by Michaud and sent up to McClellan. McClellan moving his way in. Steps in. Behind the back pass to Jensen, and he couldn't quite get the shot off. Vitelli definitely wanted one there. Right against the blue line. Turning, trying to spin it and get it there is McHatton. Eagles stop it at center. At the red line, it's flipped. Caught there by Richard. Behind the net now, it's Lloyd. Waiting, stopping, cutting. McHatton to the net. Save by Lafleur as they jam at it. But that'll be it for that play as we get a whistle at just over 5 minutes to go in period 3.
So far, Lewisville really showing off the endurance they have. I mean, all game they've just maintained pace, and Oromocto has been the team to really chase them here. I mean, Lewisville is definitely a 36-minute team and a 200-foot one at that.
I don't think you could have said that any better. Just immaculate play from the Lightning so far this game. Drew McHatton in the corner. Cuts back up towards the blue line. Waiting. It's picked up there by Baker. Down. Emmett McHatton tried to get a slap shot off in the corner now. There's a hit by the Eagles, and that's going to send Lewisville back to another power play. Touched up there at the blue line. And again, not the time to take a penalty. It's going to be Drew McHatton that goes to the box and sends Lewisville to their 3rd power play of the 3rd period. So under 5 minutes to go. Lewisville back to a 5-on-4 power play. In the final stage of the 3rd pass. In front, there's the shot on Elias. And that one didn't make its way to the net. A pass up here. Working his way is Collins. Collins again, shorthanded, trying to cut in, and he was swept away there by Will Godin. Flick up. A bump up against the boards. Eagles will shoot this one in as it's got in by Liret. Liret around his cage. Stops. Pressure there from Loofman. As the Lightning are able to break this one out. Alex Godin skating into the middle. Trying to get a shot off there. I believe that was Coleman. And was just unable to do so. And there's an Eagle and a Lightning player that's sprawled down in the center. Armsworthy works his way in along the left side. He's poke checked there and hauled down by Holland. Lightning find it. Right at the high slot there. The shot from Alex Godin just missed wide. Godin leaving that down for Armsworthy on his backhand. Looking at the side of the net, Armsworthy cutting around the blue line now. Will Gaudet, here's the shot, and that one's rejected by the pad of Elias. Working down and clearing it in, there's Richard. Still 30 seconds left on the man advantage for the Lightning. Moving back, there's McClellan. McClellan skating back, trying to get it to his feet, does a little spinorama as he finds it here. Takes the pass, he fans on it, Smith back the other way, Declan Smith the shot, and what a block from the sliding Lewisville defenseman. McClellan up there for Jensen. This one's caught in at the line, and we have a penalty coming up here. I believe this one is against Oromocto once more, as their power play just ends here. And that Lewisville power play is gonna come back as Oromocto will touch up, and I believe we have a hold that's going against the Eagles. More specifically, that's Declan Smith that heads to the sin bin after having a good rush. Holds onto the man, middle of your screen there, accidentally takes him down. So Lewisville Lightning back to the power play, just over 2 minutes to go. At the line, the shot from Cormier, a quick cover there from Elias. In final stages of the third, the next game coming up on MST, it'll be U13B. The Lightning, they are 1-0. They played bright and early, 7 in the morning. They're back to play against the East Hants Penguins. Coming up in the next 10 minutes, 10-20 minutes here on MST.
Well, so far, all Lewisville teams have really shown very strong performances in their opening games. I mean, they've won, I think, every game, but at least a margin of 3 goals here.
And it looks to continue the pattern as they're up by 3 goals, less than 2 minutes, and on a power play for 1 minute and 20. The hometown teams have just been dominant so far.
I mean, these strong performances really, oh, it's another one.
And just to put some salt in the wound on the power play, make it 6-2. As again, like you've been saying, Diego, discipline is just absolutely huge in tournaments. It feels just that much more important than a regular game. And what a snipe there by Will Godin. Going to the top corner, making it now 6-2.
Well, these dominant performances have really shown just the quality of Lewisville minor hockey, with their great coaches and staff here. Putting together some very strong competitive teams here.
Here's Alex Ganan flipping this one out of the zone. It's the Eagles that flip it back in the center. A bit of pushing and shoving right up against the red line. Alex Ganan. That one just out of his reach, taken by Smith. Smith going to the opposite boards now with Alex Ganan. Taken back by the Oromocto defense, and what a move with the turnover from Armsworthy. Armsworthy, far boards to the middle, trying to get a shot off there. Believe that was Jensen who couldn't quite pull the trigger. Will Gadan. Up for the Eagles at the blue line. Will Gadan. Moving back, rotated behind the net here. Cote Baribo. Not much time now, we got less than a minute. Worked back up here by Collins. Collins trying to go up the boards. Taken away here at the blue line. And another penalty to end the game. And this time it's going to be against the Lightning. Just 20 seconds left to go. Touched up by Richard. And here Oromocto will see their chance from the power play here to end this game. With just 20 seconds to go. And it's Jensen taking down a man. Eagles off the draw. Collins looking for it. It's up to the line. Here's a slap shot blocked by McClellan. Walking in past Collins into some feet, and they couldn't quite get the shot off. McClellan going to the far boards. Collins again. Near board, trying to get a shot to the net. Here's a backhand try that was blocked. And there's a Lightning player down on the ice. That's Richard. And that's the final buzzer. Give the Lightning a 6-2 win, and Richard's down. He's clearly in some pain.
Well, this game was definitely one of our more physical ones for sure. But on the scoreboard, the Lewisville Lightning really brought their game here. Final score 6-2 with shots from what we put down, 23 for Lewisville, 13 for Oromocto.
And this Lewisville team will be back at it later today at 3:45. Not getting much of a break. They're going to take on the Western Valley Spartans here in MSD. We thank you for watching. Stay tuned for our next game, U11B, Lightning, and Penguins here in MSD.